Good evening. Students, school counselors, principals, ASU representatives, and family members. My name is Vianey Sánchez. I'm the academic coach and coordinators for the ASU Eva Camuñez-Tucker Up and Coming Scholar Program. And with Dr. Michael Salisbury, Dean of the Freshman College, we welcome you all. Today, we are here to celebrate the program graduation of the 2026 class, where one of the main goals is to encourage students to pursue higher education, whether they choose to attend Angelo State University or any other institution. To all of graduates, if you choose to attend any other university, we wish you the best as you begin this new journey and exciting journey. But if you decide to join us here at Angelo State University, know that we are here for you. If you want to, you will become part of the ASU group and continue the mission of the program to help you plan, prepare, and pursue a college degree. Remember, education is the key of success. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has supported this program, from school administrators, staff, and families. Your continued dedication has made lasting and meaningful impact on these student lives. Please join me in welcome and thanking Ms. Joyce Michelle Grooms-Reed and Ms. Jessica Johnson, representing Angelo State University, Freshman College, and Academic Excellence, for being here with us. I now welcome to the stage Mr. Terry Maikeska, representing Eva Camuñez-Tucker. During his speech, Mr. Gustavo Meni Campos will accompany him with a musical performance.
Good evening. I'm Terry Maikeska. I was the caretaker of the late Eva Tucker for 23 years, and I'm also the president and trustee of the Art and Eva Tucker Foundation. This is actually the first event I've actually been able to come and hopefully talk about her. It's been very hard. She's been gone 19 years, June of this year, so it's been a long time. A little short story about how we met. I was one of the first employees, 7 of us, that were hired to open up American Airlines here in San Angelo in 1985. And of course, I went to a garage sale and got me a typewriter and went to the library and learned how to do a resume. And I ended up getting hired and graduated from the American Airlines Academy. And because I was the youngest there at the airport, I was always dealing with everything, making most of the boarding calls and doing the lost luggage. And of course, it was a rainy day like it is here today. And here came a lady to the counter in high heels, all these beautiful diamonds, and dressed up and looked quite tired. And she said, "Could you help me?" And I said, "Sure." She said, "I just got back from the Holy Lands with the whole group of bishops and priests that I took, and one of my bags did not show up." So I wrote down all the information and what it looked like and everything, and I helped her to the curb with the bags that did come in, and she took a taxi home. She did ask me for the number to the airport counter, and we were not supposed to give it to her, but something made me do it, and I gave her the number to the airport counter. And so I entered the information, and I found the luggage. It was in SJU instead of SJT, so it was in San Juan, and it was on its way on the plane actually coming. And so I tracked it, and it was going to come in just a couple of flights later. So I was so excited. I called her, and I said, "Miss Tucker, I found your bag. It's on its way." And I said, "I will take it to Hertz Rent-A-Car because they do all of our deliveries this evening, and I'll have it delivered to you." Well, she was so excited. And, of course, I was excited, too. And I thought, well, maybe then she'll tear up the phone number and not call here at our private number. So anyway, so I took it to her to rent a car, and I was getting off on my shift, and I said, this needs to be delivered to Eva Tucker. And he said, Terry, I can't, not tonight. I have another flight. I'm the only one here. I'll have to deliver this tomorrow. And I was devastated. I thought, oh my gosh, it was something about this lady that I had to get her luggage. Had cargo grease on it and everything, so I cleaned it off, and, I just thought, well, I am going to just take it to her, and I'm probably going to lose my job because we were not supposed to take luggage. But I took it to her, and I went on the north part of town, and I'm from Wall, Texas. I graduated from Wall High School, and I hadn't been on the north part of town a lot, and back then it was called Randolph Street and 14th, and I found this little house with some chickens up in the tree, and I thought, there is no way this lady lives here. But I parked there, and the gate was falling down, and I went ahead and knocked on the door, and no one answered, knocked on the front door, no one answered, went back, knocked on the other back door, and here comes on a light, and here she comes and said, oh, you found my luggage. I said, yes, Miss Tucker. I said, I'm so glad. And so she tried to give me a tip, and I said, oh, no, please, no. I'm just hoping I have my job. And she goes, and I told her the situation, and she goes, please do not worry about your job. If you have any problem tomorrow, you just call me. And I said, okay, I will. Well, they never did find out that I brought her luggage. And I also played piano, and I was playing in also restaurants back then, probably before some of y'all were born. We used to have the Sheraton Hotel in the early 80s at the Clarion, where the Clarion Hotel is now. It was the first Sheraton Hotel here in town, and FL's Bar and Grill and Bentwood and Sac and River Club and all these places. And we had a great time, and she started asking me and coming to these places where I'd play and said, come and see me, and come visit with me. Well, I mean, I was a workaholic, worked 7 days a week, so I only had a little time. But I did. I lost both of my grandparents, and I thought, well, I'll go help her and see. And I was, 19 back then, 19, 20. So I would go there and just do a lot of work for her. She had some little rental properties, and she loved her chickens, and so I fed her chickens, and I was raised with chickens too, and she loved her chickens. But I started learning more about who this lady was, and I started helping her more and more, and it just didn't make sense. I thought, gosh, she has all this history. She is on the board of the Bank of First National Bank of Graham. She's very big with ExxonMobil, Chevron Texaco, ConocoPhillips, British Petroleum, and she lives in this little house with her chickens. And she always told me, she goes, Terry, I could have the largest house in town with many people to work for me every day, but that's just not me. Eva was an educator and a philanthropist, and she was a businesswoman, and everyone knew her here in San Angelo. She was very simple. She was one of the first American women that graduated in San Angelo High School, continued her education at the San Angelo College right here, which is now ASU. She got her teacher's certificate in 1932, and she began teaching in Mertzen and in Ballinger, and she was one of the first Mexican-American principals in Ballinger School. That's where she met Art Tucker. Art Tucker was an independent oil man tycoon. He fell in love with Eva. So in 1948, he married Eva, and she ended up helping him with the trucking business and the oil business, and they had refineries in Luters, Texas, and everything else. I mean, it was she ran the office. She always told me she was the only one. She could wear heels 7 days a week and run that office and run those truck drivers. And they had asphalt companies and rendering plants, and some of those guys didn't like to go to the rendering plants. So she had her heels on, and she'd get in those trucks with her and go with them to the rendering plants. And that's how Eva was. I mean, she would do whatever it takes. And she lived a very simple life. She donated millions of dollars to organizations, and she loved this town, San Angelo. Fort Concho, Concho Valley Home for the Girls, West Texas Rehab, Angelo State University, the Symphony, the Fine Arts Museum, West Texas Collection with Dr. Ralph Chase, which was my doctor when I was little. They started the West Texas Collection, and that's where you can find a lot of the information about Eva. Everything I brought from the oil refinery and her home is on the files there at the West Texas Collection. So Eva was a wonderful person in this community, and she passed away in June 24th, 2007, and before she passed away, she held my hand and she said, you know, Terry, you're the son I never had, and I would not have made it. She never had no children. And she said, I made you do all this all these years. I made you do my business. I made you go to my board meetings. I made you go to the ExxonMobil meetings. I made you do all of that because there was a reason and a purpose. Because I want you now to do the most good for the most people. And now that you have followed my footsteps for 23 years on what I have achieved and done, just continue it. And she formed the Art and Eva Tucker Foundation. And that foundation is what we do now that Eva's been gone almost 19 years. And she is one of those that, I tell you, it's very simple. She wanted no office. She wanted no staff. She didn't want no daily operations. She made it easy and said, look, give it all away a couple of times a year and just follow my footsteps. So that's what we do. And she loved the up-and-coming scholars. I remember when I took her to the meeting at the River Club, and she met with the ASU people here, and I remember her coming home from the River Club from that luncheon, and I remember I was out feeding the chickens, and she was driving up in her Cadillac, and she said, come in the house. She goes, go get me a check, and I need you to take this to ASU. I think I brought it to Joe Munoz. Joe was a very dear friend of Eva. And so Joe Munoz always came to visit Eva a lot. But I want to tell you about the Up-and-Coming Scholars Program. She was very happy to start this program. And I know she's looking down on each and every one of y'all today. And I want y'all to, as she always told me, and she always told the students that would come and visit her, and she would come here to the college, you know, she always said, be curious, not just credential-driven. Just don't go to class for credit, but go because you want to learn something. Take a risk, she used to say. Join these clubs that have nothing to do with your major. Talk to a professor and say yes to the things that even scare you. It's okay not to have it all figured out. You are no longer just up-and-coming students now. You're young adults shaping your own destiny. Take responsibility and take care of each other and make the next many years count. And welcome to the start of the rest of your life. Real quick story, the funniest thing in my life, and I swear they keep saying write a book, and I'm going to write a book. So Eva was a major stockholder of First National Bank of Graham, so we always went to the meetings, and they always came down to see her. But she said one time I was getting her ready, and of course I did everything. I did her hair, I did her makeup. She had clip-on earrings and got her high heels and everything, and she grabbed my tie, and she said, I need you to do something. I need you to go catch me a rooster. I said, a rooster? She said, yes. My secretary, Donna, at the bank that you know, that's been there 40 years, I called her yesterday, and I said, me and Terry are coming up to the board meeting, and I want Terry to take you afterwards and buy you a new Cadillac. It's the least I can do for you. And Donna said, oh, Eva, no. I would never accept that kind of gift. You have been wonderful to work with all these years with the bank. And Donna said, but Eva, there is something I would like. And Eva said, oh, just anything. Tell me and I'll get Terry to go do it. She goes, Eva, I would love to have one of your roosters and your hens to put with my chickens on the farm, and you'll be with me forever. And so when Eva said, go catch me a rooster, I thought, oh my gosh. I never argue with her, but I went outside and her chickens were free. I didn't even have a hook. And so I went and I caught this rooster in my suit and tie, and I was holding it, and I said, "Don't you do it." And I took it in the house, and she was putting her glasses on, and anyway, she went like this on the rooster tail and went like this on the chicken, and she goes, "Not this one." I said, "Okay." She goes, "No, don't you think this is the one that crows on my window every morning?" I said, "Well, it could be. Well, go get me another one." So I'm out there trying to catch this other rooster, but she wanted to make sure it was a pretty one with the big tail. And I caught another rooster, and I brought it inside to her, and there's Joe Munoz. But I brought it to Eva, and she said, "Okay, that one will do. Now I need you to go catch me a hen." I thought, oh my gosh. And she said, "Now we're taking these to the bank to Donna. So what can we do with them?" I said, "Okay, well, let me get a box and I'll cut some hose." So I put the chickens in the box and we put them in the vehicle, and I get Eva loaded up. And of course, she always liked to ride in, semi-trucks and everything. So she always wanted me to have a pickup that was, high or whatever. So she liked to step up. And so we went to the bank, and of course I called the bank. I said, "Okay, I'm coming with the chickens, and it'll take little Eva to get situated." And they said, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get the chickens. Donna will run them to the farm just down the road, and then Eva can go get refreshed and all that and get into the board moon." So that was one of the stories. I've never taken chickens to the bank, but I mean, Donna could have had that Cadillac. It would have been a lot easier. But she did not want the Cadillac. She just wanted a hen and a rooster. Anyway, thank you and welcome to your start. Eva would be so happy to be here right now. She would be sitting here talking forever, and she would want to help each and every one of you, and she would be so happy. And so I'm so glad that she started this program. And thank you for having me. Good day.
Thank you, Mr. Mequesca and Mr. Campos. At this time, I would like to invite the ASU group to the front of the stage. This event will not be possible with all your support. Do we have everyone? All these students, they're coming to Angelo State University. And when they're in the program, they're learning leadership skills, and they're in charge of all the events, like this one. Please join me in giving them a big round of applause. ASU group. Thank you, ASU group, for your support. Please take positions. Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leah Rivera, and it is truly an honor to stand here before you today. I'm a graduating senior here at Angelo State University, and I am here to share a little bit about my journey in the Up-and-Coming Scholars Program. When I was a sophomore in high school, I joined this program that helped me to plan and prepare for college life. At the time, I didn't realize how much it would truly shape me. What stayed with me wasn't just what I had learned, but who I became through the experience. I learned how to step out of my comfort zone, build meaningful connections, and believe in myself even when things felt uncertain. I met people who inspired me, and over time, I found myself being that person for others. Someone younger students could turn to, look up to, or simply feel seen by. And standing here today, I realized just how those small moments of growth really, truly mattered. Because growth doesn't happen all at once. It happens in the moments that you show up, even when you're unsure. And it happens when you take chances, when you fail, and when you decide to keep going anyways. To the graduates today, You don't have to have everything figured out right now. What matters is that you keep moving forward, take the opportunity, have the conversation. Chase the goals that feel just a little bit out of reach, because those moments are what will shape you. And as you step into this next chapter, remember this: who you become will matter far more than where you go. So grow boldly, support one another, and never forget to reach back and lift someone else up along the way. And if you decide to choose Angeles State University as your next home after high school, take full advantage of every single opportunity. It has the power to change your life in ways you can't yet imagine. So congratulations, class of 2026. Your journey is just now beginning. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miranda Martinez, and I'm a political science major here at Angeles State University. Before I begin, I just have to say how grateful I am to be a part of the Eva Comunis Tucker Up and Coming Scholars Program, especially considering I'm a first-generation student starting college, and college can be something super overwhelming and scary to start, and sometimes you can't handle it on your own. So this program has made such a big difference for me in my life personally, and if I ever need anything, I know that I could always go to someone from the Up and Coming Scholars Program to help me, or Ms. Sánchez to help me, especially for registering for classes. This program has helped me create a strong sense of community, see familiar faces, and be comfortable saying hi, considering sometimes you don't know people in your degree plan, and just making everything more exciting. So if you're a senior graduating high school and you have the opportunity to come to ASU or choose to, take the leap and try to join Up and Coming Scholars Program, because you don't know how much it truly helps you until you step up here and grow as a student and as a person. Thank you.
I'm a little taller. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cody Fentress, and I'm currently a senior at Angeles State University, set to graduate this spring with my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. It has truly been an honor to be part of the Up and Coming Scholars Program, first as a sophomore at Central High School, and now as a continuing member throughout my college career. This program has shaped me in ways I could never have imagined when I first joined. It provides students with the tools, confidence. It's okay, we're inside. It provides students with the tools, confidence, and foundational skills that become the backbone of their future careers. Skills like leadership, communication, and public speaking aren't just extras. They are the qualities that transform students into capable, resilient individuals who will lead not only the classrooms, but in their communities and workplaces. One of the most important lessons I've learned is the value of being able to stand in front of others and speak with purpose. No matter what field you enter, engineering, education, business, or healthcare, your ability to communicate your ideas will set you apart. And if I'm being completely honest, I owe a lot of that growth to Mrs. Sánchez. She pushes me, sometimes more than I wanted, to step out of my comfort zone. She's the reason I'm standing on this stage tonight speaking in front of all of you. The Unbecoming Scholars Program doesn't just prepare students academically, it prepares them personally. It teaches us to believe in ourselves, to take initiative, and to recognize that leadership isn't about being the loudest in the room, but the one willing to step forward when it matters. This program has given me opportunities, mentors, and experiences that have shaped the person I am today, and I'm proud to represent it. To the students in the audience, embrace every challenge. The moments that feel uncomfortable are often the ones that change you the most. And to the families, educators, and supporters here tonight, thank you for investing in these students and believing in their potential. It has been an honor and a privilege to be a part of the Up and Coming Scholars Program and to be able not only to serve my fellow students, but my community. Though I will be graduating this spring, I am hopeful and excited to see where the next class of students will take this program. Thank you. All right, let's get this show on the road. We will now begin recognizing our high school graduates, starting with San Angelo Central High School, led by Principal Jill Ross and Counselor Amanda Chambers.
Miley Alvarado. Alfonso Alvarez. Ashlyn Anastasio. Aiden Ashley. Harper Banks. Aaliyah Bauman. Samantha Boney. Trinity Bosworth. Sydney Bravo. Katie Bravo. Judson Bright. Caden Carrasco. Jayla Carrillo. Nelly Chavez. Sutton Cole. Carson Collier. Cooper Collier. Connor Corbett. Emma Cotton. Matthew Kreutz. Kayla Darby. Joseph Davis. Elena Davis. Cannon Deanda. Haley Diaz. Liliana Dossi. Ella Dupree. Ava Durjal. James Edwards. Andrew Espinosa. Kaylin Estes. Joanna Esupue. Michaela Flores. Caroline Galban. Reagan Gallion. Dylan Gamble. Eric Garcia. Ava Garcia. Ava Garcia. Did I say that one? Leah Garfias. Allison Garnett. Emerson Garza. Holly Gibbs. Jasmine Gibson. Addison Gonzalez. Bethany Gonzalez. Christian Goodman. Graham Gould. Emma Granoth. Charity Green. Rudy Haddad. Lauren Halfacre. Judson Hallmark. Hannah Harton. Elizabeth Havens. Jenna Hayes. Jacqueline Hernandez. Ezekiel Hernandez. Naya Howe. Carly Howell. Jocelyn Humphreys. Orion Jackson. Madison Jefferson. Jada Johnson. Trevor Kane. Addison Cole. Karis Cooter. Caitlin Kirkendall. Emma Laura. Angela Lopez. Gigi Mackey. Claire Lutz. Danilyn Martinez. Addison McDuffie.
Alina Mendez. Alexandria Mendez. Monica Montague. David Moran. Timothy Moreno. Sadie Moreno. Miranda Munoz. Ricardo Nopolis. Tegan Nunez. Michaela Nunn. Julia O'Brien. Romero Ochinang. Jaslyn Olivares. Allison Olivas. Ashlyn Payanis. Rachel Parsley. Alyssa Patel. Clarissa Pena. Adithi Padarala. Matthew Purcell. Madison Rios. Marisol Rios. Tori Robertson. Damaris Rocha. Evelyn Rogers. Sophia Rudolph. Michaela Salas. Michaela Saldivar. Talia Samaripa. Briley Sandor. Emily Schwartz. Riley Scott. James Sarabian. Michael Smith. Matthew Smith. Mackenzie Salisbury. Madison Salisbury. Addison Sonnenberg. Dominic Sosa. Olivia Stapp. Braden Stevens. Miley Strain. Peyton Strickland. Caden Stewart. Micah Taylor. Emmeline Tilley. Ava Torres. Brianna Trevino. Hazel Tyler. Jacob Vass. Amari Vinson. Zoe Walker. Emma Ward. Addison Welch. Ryan Wheeler. Grant Wilde. Lauren Wood. Nathan Woodliff. Natalie Yanez.
Alrighty, we will now recognize Cristobal High School, led by Principal Sandy Wellman and Counselor Candace Munoz.
Okay. Danielle Hope Braswell. Rihanna Sage Castillo. Kaylee Blair Kane. Emma Nicole Duke. Madison Lee Dye. Daniel Maximo Harlson. Alyssa Nicole Hovert. Riley Marie Hunt. Jesse Jean Kelly. Christopher Lucas Lopez. Just Renner Love. Okay. Addison Bailey Milston. Okay. Sophia Jean Nickum. What is her name? Garrett Michael Spearman. Claire Joe Wilk. What do I do next?
We will now recognize Cornerstone High School, led by Principal Zach Pyle and Counselor Susan Brooks.
Truett Thompson Bailey. Okay. Mark Allen Bryant. Priscilla Marie Chacon. Kyle Morgan Johnson. Okay. Cameron Elizabeth Miller. Ryan Pucci. Gray Ramsey Cisco. Cody Allen Boyle Wyatt. Okay. Now introducing homeschool. Danielle Murray Smith.
We will now recognize Lakeview High School, led by Principal Zachary Ramirez and Counselors Rachel Gander and Laura Valerano.
Jason Adcock. Heaven Allenbar. Jordan Behil. Raymond Breyer. Emma Brooks. Jacoby Camacho. Aaliyah Carrasco. Beatrice Casaneda. Rachel Garcia. Victoria Garza. Yandel Gonzalez. Antoine Griffin. Avery Hansen. Ariana Hernandez. Janaya Jefferson. Bailey Johnson. Peyton Jones. Michael Lozano. Ryan Moling. Israel Morales Delgado.
Ariana Natividad. Keila Navarrete. Laurie O'Donnell. Marcelina Perez. Maxima Poe. Jacqueline Ponciano. Nevea Ramirez. Emily Ramos. Fiona Raday. Leah Resendez.
Misael Rodelo. Shirley Rodriguez Alvarado. Victor San Juan. Alexis Trials. Analicia Vasquez. Kaylee Vela. Constance Waddell. Billy White.
We will now recognize Miles High School, led by Principal Waylon M. Cooksey and Counselor Sarah Stevens.
Grandin Burris. Taylor Eisenbach. Avery Fabian. Riley Glass. Logan Gonzalez. Gabriela Gutierrez Polito. Cesar Villarreal. Skip a few more. There he is.
We will now recognize TLCA High School, led by Principal Sarah Hernandez and Counselor Zelina Mendoza.
Adam Aguilar. Barrett Bradbury. Casey Bonnell. Avian Cook. Jaden Cropper. Sydney Davis. Destiny Deanda.
Camden Duarte. Eric Heisenrader. Sarah Hernandez. Colin Jordan. Reagan Keck. Kira Kajowski. Edith Ocampo. Ephraim Paramo. Danica Picon. Ramiro Gunner Rodriguez. Cameron Sanchez. Esther Sanchez Gutierrez. Matea Trees. Samantha Trevino. Gabriela Vasquez. Owen Washington. Devin Ray.
We will now recognize Trinity Lutheran, led by Principal Ron Frisk.
Aubrey Swisher.
We will now recognize Very Best High School, led by Principal Amber Palmer and Counselor Kelly Hanna.
Xander Colon. Now we will be introducing Wall High School with Principal Ryan Snowden and Counselor Chelsea Binzen. Isabel Frenchfries. Kennedy Graves. Blaine Jinskin. Emily Mayo. Lace Ripple. Riley Scandalori. Benjamin Taylor. Alia Vera. You showed up. Okay. Now we will be introducing the ASU group graduates. Sergio Aranda. Hailey Fernanda Anicama. Ariana Cantu. Cody Ray Fintris. Jalen Galindo. Leah Nicole Rivera. Andrea Lee Sánchez. José Andrés Sánchez.
One more round of applause for all of our graduates. At this time, we would like to recognize all participating schools, including those without graduates this spring, and as well as our middle schools and their representatives. First, Ambleside Concho Valley, Grape Creek High School, Premier High School, San Angelo Christian Academy, Glen Middle School, Grape Creek Middle School, Lincoln Middle School, Lone Star Middle School, TLCA Middle School, Wall Middle School, and that concludes all of our schools. So in total, the Eva Comunias Tucker Up and Coming Scholar Program proudly serves 20 schools in the San Angelo and surrounding areas. I will now pass it back to Ms. Sanchez for closing remarks.
Thank you, Leah. Students, we wish to continue with success in the way that you pursue. Remember, Angelo State University will always be your home, and we will be here to support you and you move forward in your academic and personal journey. Thank you once again to our counselors, principals, parents, family, staff, and the community. We would also like to extend a special thank you to ASU Special Event Team, ASU RamTV team, ASU Professional Photographer team, and of course, everybody. Thank you. Congratulations, class 2026. Muchas gracias por todo.